All right, well, back to day two of the Olympian, and also day two of my cut, which, as of today, I've eaten 1,500 calories, which is good. No big deal. So now I am about to do the Olympian, which consists of only two exercises: 20 squats and 5 push-ups, and then back and forth, back and forth. And it's going to be 2 minute rest between sets, 7 sets. All right, that's what it looks like right there. And my buddy Nadia Nip has a new video out, so we're going to be watching that.
There's nothing wrong with looking 600 pounds.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been quite a while since we've done this. I hope you're all doing really well and been taking care. I wanted to get back into the swing of things with a TikTok compilation, and we're going to start with whether obesity is real or not.
Obesity isn't real.
So she's replying to a comment that says, obesity is a disease and that's not a fact. And this comment was actually left on another video of hers where she was talking about dating preferences.
Shut up, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Her caption here says, saying you don't find any fat people attractive / would never date a fat person is not a preference. It's fat phobia. And just for today, for my first day back, we're going to gloss right over this, how weird of a statement this is, and how strange it is that so many fat acceptance creators feel compelled to spread this message.
I just want you to know that obesity is not real. Fatness is not a disease. Okay? So before you come doing things, make sure you fact check yourself. Make sure you look into what you're saying.
I want to use this as an opportunity to mention that fat is actually so active in our body's functioning that it's considered an organ, not just a tissue. An endocrine organ, more specifically, meaning it plays a big role in our metabolism, impacting things like hunger, fullness cues, all the way to our levels of insulin resistance. Our body fat isn't some inconsequential dormant tissue on our body. So, whether obesity is classified as a disease or not, it's highly influential on our well being, and taking it off a list or putting it on a list doesn't change that. You cannot cancel obesity as hard as fat acceptance is trying.
It's a made up thing. It is truly a made up thing. Because really, behind the word obesity is basically just a scientific way to dehumanize fat people and make the world, well, really, Western society, believe that fat people are a problem or a disease.
Obesity was officially classified as a disease in 1998. So, according to her, at some point in the 90s, American scientists conspired with an agenda to dehumanize fat people by convincing the Western world that fat people are a disease. Not excess fat,
Oh,
but
I
overweight
guess scab
people.
races.
That's the argument she's laying out here through this
Okay.
TikTok. And I just want to point out the absurdity of being willing to accept that as some kind of understood truth, but then denying the role that obesity plays in all of our leading causes of death and disease. Fat acceptance is more willing to believe that scientists in mass, through years of research, have been colluding against them than they are willing to accept mountains of evidence based research on the health risks of obesity.
And if you come from being like everything science says is 100% fact driven and truthful, I will debunk your ass quick.
The only debunk I ever see from fat acceptance is science has been wrong before, and that's exactly what she does here.
Because while I believe in science, science is real, I'm not one of those. So if we've looked over the history of science, there have been many times where science has been wrong. Like when science was super racist and said that white people have bigger brains than people of color. Okay, okay. So when science can get multiple things in history wrong and then come back and be like, oops, my bad, science can also dehumanize an entire group of
One down,
people to
five to
make
go.
others
No,
believe that
six to
they're
go.
our problem.
The history of
Do you remember?
medicine is really bizarre. It's undeniable that medical science has been weaponized against groups in the past, whether it was malicious or ignorant. But The meaningful difference here is anyone can be an obese person. And we aren't targeting obese people through medicine, we're targeting obesity. But fat acceptance likes to pretend that doctors are trying to eradicate them. Because doctors are conspiring to help me live longer and improve my quality of life isn't really a call to action. It's not quite as compelling as a fantasy of persecution.
Even though for years people have been like, you know what? Fat people are the reason why we are believing having heart disease. It's like, ever heard of stress? Ever heard of the stress that it puts onto you when you're shamed constantly or not treated like a human being?
These things are not mutually exclusive. Obesity can impact our heart health, and it still be true that stress also impacts our heart health. We have evidence for both, but we've heard multiple times, even on this channel, that it's clearly not the fat causing any health issues, just the stress that comes with being a fat person in this fat phobic society. And this is the cherry picking that's keeping fat acceptance alive and unwell.
If you look in the mirror,
This next creator is replying to someone who says the mirror tells them they look 600 pounds. Most likely someone with body image issues, right?
and you think you look 600 pounds, maybe it's because you do, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with looking 600 pounds. If you think there is, that's fat phobia, not body dysmorphia. Hope this helped.
So now we're fat phobic if we think being 600 pounds is some kind of issue, something to be concerned about rather than celebrated. I'm not sure what there is to be gained by normalizing 600-pound bodies, and I'm not sure if that sounds mean or wrong to say, but nobody's thriving at 600 pounds. Not even close to thriving. Not even close to being okay.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine, man. Just had to catch my breath. I'll be alright.
It's been in the last 10 years since my weight's gotten to be up over 600 pounds. My biggest fear is that I go to bed one night and I just don't wake up.
Food has caused all of the things I hate about my life, but it's the only thing I've ever had to help me feel good.
And you don't just exist in a 600-pound body, it takes work to achieve that body. Bordering on hard work, honestly. I know that sounds weird to say, but overeating to that extent is kind of laborious, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it takes a lot less effort to not become 600 pounds. And it feels like people think they're taking some kind of morally superior position here by radically embracing everything around them. In this case, by saying there's nothing wrong with being 600 pounds. And to me, this feels actually pretty mean. Maybe it's my skewed or antiquated ideals, but lying to someone's face doesn't actually seem nicer than saying something mean to someone's face. It might look nicer on the surface, it might feel nicer in the moment to yes queen someone, but that's a really shallow interpretation of what's actually happening. Diluting and enabling would be right below that nice, comforting lie. Jock Scientist is stitching a video that basically says, when people tell me they don't have time to exercise, you have to make the time. And we know that is the kind of can-do attitude that fat acceptance just seems to despise for some reason. They might not have time for exercise, but they always have time to respond to stuff like this. Always have time to explain why they can't do something.
I want you to imagine if people were like this with any other hobby. If you really wanted to find time to embroider, you would make it a priority. You want a garden? You'll have the same 24 hours in a day, sweetie.
Exercise can be a hobby, but to talk about it like that is the function it serves is really wild to me, especially considering Jock Scientist is an exercise physiologist. Sedentary lifestyle puts us at an increased risk for so many major health problems. Crocheting, gardening, hobbies, all great for our mental health, which does affect our overall health, but exercise is the direct line to our physical health. The benefits to maintaining an active lifestyle cannot be overstated, and the detriments to a sedentary lifestyle cannot be understated. So it's pretty wild that she's willing to compare something as vital as exercise to something as frivolous as needlepoint.
Like, you guys are so corny. This is so corny. You hear people say, I can't find the time. I don't have the time to do that. And you're like, have you tried making time? Thank you.
If we want to do anything, we have to budget the time for it. The answer is really that simple. That doesn't mean the execution is easy, doesn't mean that making time will be effortless and require no sacrifice, but the answer is that simple 100% of the time we want to do something. I think pointing out the obvious or challenging lame excuses can be one of the most powerful and effective tools for change because it's something a majority of people aren't willing to do. It feels too much like conflict to call BS. But to use her word, it's way more corny to join the ensemble of helplessness and go around trading excuses with people who just want to justify why they can't do something.
In my over a decade experience working in fitness, I don't really have time typically translates to I feel super overwhelmed by this task and I'm already very busy and I don't know where to put it in, which is incredibly valid. You do not have to list them out for me because I already believe you. You're all busy.
I actually really appreciate that she understands that I don't have the time rarely actually means that a person has no minutes to spare in their schedule. It's generally something we say when we don't really want to say what's holding us back from something. So, Job Science apparently has some encouraging words for people who feel they don't have time to exercise.
My counter encouragement is one, it's okay if it can't fit in right now. You can make a plan for what the future holds. Two, it is totally okay if exercise is a casual habit for you. Some movement's always going to be better than none, and casual still has benefits to it.
So, if you don't have time to exercise now, you can make time in the future or kind of not make time in the future. I'm not really seeing the difference here in her advice and the other person's advice, minus her addendum that you can also just be a casual exerciser, aka not budget time for exercise. And this is her encouragement, but the other lady is corny. Just off the top of my head, some rapid fire good reasons to exercise are heart health, metabolic health, strength, flexibility, coordination, balance, and there are way more reasons. Please feel free to add them below. I think as soon as fitness started being marketed to people, we started getting bombarded with too many mixed signals as to what purpose it really serves and who it's for. But taking care of our bodies is for everyone. It's not a hobby, it's sort of the prerequisite for a lot of hobbies. And basically everything else most of us desire out of life. And I think we're gonna end with the TikToks there for today. Thank you so much for coming to hang out on this video with me and making it all the way to the end if you're still here with me. I am just getting back into the swing of things. Just finally got moved, unpacked, and reoriented into my new environment, which is very different than my last place. I'm no longer living in the mountains, which I miss a lot right now. And overall, just a lot of changes that I'm getting adjusted to. And I think I adjust slower than a lot of people because I have some anxiety issues. So it's taking me a little while, but we're getting there. So just be patient with me a little bit, and we'll be back to more regular videos on here. If you all have any updates you'd like to share with me, I'd like to read them down below. I think I'm going to sign off for today, but I will talk to you all in the next one. Everyone take care. Bye.
Down. 4 to go.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip from somebody that proclaims intentional weight loss is unhealthy. Your doctor is lying to you. If there's time, we'll also take a look at a couple of bonus clips from the same creator. Shout out to the Body Honesty Project, who I got the idea from. I saw it in her video, and I was like, oh, I have to react to this video. So I didn't finish watching your video just so I could react to this fresh. Here's a link to her channel if it lets me put it there. Otherwise, it will be in the description. Let us waste no time and dive right in with the applying of comb to mustache. All right, the video is titled, You're Not Going to Like This. You won't believe me because I'm fat. You sure you're not just about to say a bunch of unbelievable stuff? Because people tend to not believe that as well. By the way, yes, I know that I need a haircut.
Listen, I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, I love you, I love you.
I love you, I love you, I love you as well. Although I feel like you might be about to say something completely insane and you're trying to soften the blow. Listen, Frank, I love you, I love you, I love you, buddy, but I got something to tell you. All right, you're making me a little nervous by prefacing it with all the I love yous. What is it? I hate you. I don't know why you're putting a hex on me.
And diet culture is bullshit.
You heard it here, folks. Our work here is done. Have a good one. Oh, you're still there. All right, let's finish watching.
Your doctor's telling you to put you on a diet to lose weight for your health. It's not healthy to lose weight.
Ever? No matter what? What if I was 1,000 pounds? It's not healthy to get down to 990 pounds? Is that too much? You really don't want to go below 998, honestly. You'd be withering away to nothing.
It's not healthy to have intentional weight loss.
What if it's an accident? Is it healthy then? What if it's not intentional? What if I'm walking down the street and, I'll slip on a banana peel and lose weight? Is that healthy? As long as it's not intentional? You know how sometimes you accidentally slip? You lost 20 pounds. How about that? What if you lost weight because you had a gangrenous limb cut off, right? Your arm has gangrene. It's all black and green and rotting away, and the infection is spreading to the rest of your body, but you cut it off. The weight on the scale did technically go down, so are we at a greater risk now? Probably want to keep that gangrenous limb just in case.
Your doctor's lying to you.
Damn you, Dr. Roberts. May I say you call Dr. Roberts? Name that one.
The stuff that you're seeing around feeling better is temporary.
Oh, so you're saying eventually it's going to get more and more difficult to go up the stairs? Because initially, when I lost all that weight, I noticed an immediate difference, and I was able to fly up and down the stairs. I could breathe. I could do some jumping jacks like nobody's business. But you're telling me this is all temporary.
It's literally temporary. It's your body saying, we're in a famine.
Is that what your body does after 10 minutes of not eating? It's such a bizarre look to be morbidly obese and telling everybody that losing any sort of weight at all is extremely unhealthy and you're now in a famine and your body doesn't know what to do. Isn't that such a bizarre look? I would be completely ashamed
Pour down,
to see such a display. I've done many shameful things while drinking, but I've never gone around and proclaimed to the world, if you stop drinking, that's bad. I always knew that what I was doing wasn't good for me. I just kept doing it because, sometimes you just keep doing it. But I never once deluded myself into thinking what I was doing was good.
And now we have all this adrenaline.
What? Is that the extra energy you get when you lose weight? It's just adrenaline because your body is battling a deadly condition, the condition of not being morbidly obese. Your body's like, oh my God, what are we doing?
To keep you alive.
Oh man, you must have gone to the same medical school as Fat Dr. UK. The Betty Crocker School of Medicine. Sorry, man, I had to. I'm sorry.
And then you go and binge on food because you restricted.
I don't know, man. You're making it seem like losing weight even slowly in an intentional way is unhealthy and your body thinks that you're restricting and therefore you're going to binge. So if I just reduce my caloric intake by 200 calories a day, my body's going to freak out and then I'm going to end up eating in excess 1,000 calories for that day. That's weird. It's almost like my body is a complete idiot and I don't know how human beings have been alive this long.
Your doctor is prescribing you an eating disorder.
Okay.
Ask your doctor if there is a peer-reviewed journal article that you can look at that says sustained weight loss can happen 2 to 5 years out after the initial dieting.
There are plenty of such peer-reviewed articles. Google is your friend. If you come into my doctor's office with this sort of attitude, I'm just going to throw you out. We already know my stance on this. All right, so it says here that you're suffering from joint pain, fatigue, You get lightheaded when you go a couple of hours without eating, sleep apnea. These could be attributed to your weight. You know, we're not 100% definite on that, but I would recommend that you lose the weight to rule that out as a possibility. And then if you still experience these symptoms, we can look at other avenues. Has there ever been a peer-reviewed article that studies the effects of weight loss 6 years from the time that the people lost weight? What? Oh yeah, actually there is. It's right here. Why don't you get a closer look? Now get the hell out of my office and don't you ever come back. Don't you ever come to my office with an attitude. I'll doctor you real nice, huh? I didn't spend 8 years in frickin' medical school to be told what to do by you. In fact, I didn't go to medical school at all. Get out of my office.
Ask them for that journal article.
And when they provide it to you, what are you gonna do then? Will you be quiet and do what they say?
And you know what you're gonna hear?
You're gonna hear, Google is your friend. There are several such articles. Go read them and stop bothering me. If you're so healthy, then why are you always in my office?
It doesn't exist.
Thanks for taking your glasses off for dramatic effect. I didn't believe you until you did that. She had the glasses on. She's like, it doesn't exist. And I'm like, whatever, genius. And then she takes them off. It doesn't exist. Oh, okay. All right, dude. She's not messing around anymore. Okay.
The science doesn't exist.
Are you sure you're not suffering from confirmation bias? You want it to not exist, so you seek out only articles that reinforce what you already thought. You're glossing over the countless articles showing how weight loss is totally doable, and you're also glossing over the countless people that you can speak to online that tell you it's doable. I don't care what some study said, which it didn't, by the way, but if there was such a study, I literally wouldn't care because I've met people that have lost weight and kept it off. In fact, I lost weight in 2017, and here I am, not gaining it back, and there's no threat of me gaining it back. I eat completely different. It's literally impossible for me to gain all that weight back.
I have a master's degree in this.
Okay. I've met people with no degrees, and they've managed to lose the weight and keep it off. Your degree means nothing. Call me old-fashioned, but I would follow the guy that lost weight, not the guy with the degree that proclaims that weight loss isn't possible, who happens to be morbidly obese. If I want to get your results, then I'll follow their plan.
5 down, 2 to go.
Rocco just came.
I get very angry when people start promoting diets in their lives.
Okay, you get angry when people promote diets in their own lives. What does that say about you? You seem to have some issue around diets here.
And I have to go.
Where? Where? When somebody starts talking about diets, you just stand up and leave the room.
I can't be around it. I'm a fat person, and you're attacking me by opening your mouth and saying things about your fat body.
So if somebody starts talking about their diet and how they want to lose weight, you're going to take personal offense to it and get up and leave or attack them. Well, luckily your weight isn't bothering you at all, right? You just can't talk about it. Nobody else can talk about their weight loss journey or anything like that without you getting personally offended. Clearly, you're unaffected by your weight. It's funny how many people these days think that getting all emotional means that, oh, you're right, you want to look how emotional she got. She started crying. That just means that you're letting your emotions get the best of you. It's not any sort of flex or winning. You're just throwing logic out the window and letting your emotions take over, which indicates that this particular topic really affects you emotionally. So
Be careful on what you say and what you are perpetuating.
why? What are you going to do to me?
Because it's all tied to racism.
What? Nice try, dude. Nice try. What are you talking about? We all know that trying to lose weight is actually xenophobic somehow. So if you guys question it, you're also partaking in that negative thing. You better not question it now. Dude, stop. Stop.
And eugenics.
What? Wow, you're getting crazy. And you got all intense and serious, too. You're not even laughing at this. That's the disturbing part. If you follow that up with a hearty chuckle, you know, then I'd be like, yeah, you're all right.
You're being a racist when you start promoting weight loss.
Okay.
I said what I said. It's the truth.
You did say what you said, unfortunately, but it is not the truth. It's your truth, which means that you live in a really bizarre fantasy world.
Stop it right now. If you care about me, if you care about fat people, if you care about yourself, you will stop.
I care about myself, which means that I hold myself personally accountable for all of my shortcomings, and I do my best to fix them. Am I perfect? No. Sorry, of course I'm perfect, but besides that, I do my best to fix all my shortcomings.
You will stop right now.
Stop trying to tell me what to do. You will stop right now. You will step back from the brink of madness, madame. I'm stopping the ride and you're getting off, okay?
I had to leave alive this morning because they're all talking about diets and oh, you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta listen to your diet.
So you were on a live this morning and people started talking about dieting, and then you had to run away and put your fingers in your ears and pretend like weight doesn't even exist. And we're the ones with the problem. I see.
Doctor's lying.
Your doctor's lying. Take it from this person. She has a master's degree in something, maybe. Dude, that's nothing. I have a double master's, okay? My master's degree went triple platinum, homie.
You don't question it because they got the white coat. They know. They must know. No, the diet culture informs doctors.
So, big diet. Once again, that darn diet industry has greater power than we all realize. The implications here are deep. Doctors are on the payroll of big diet. Oh man, this thing is bigger than I thought. This big diet that you speak of that's always out to get you and always trying to harm you, is it in the room now? Is it right here? Am I touching its face right now? Dang it, big diet, leave this woman alone. Can't you see you've done enough?
All right,
Or
16
should I
minutes
just
to
go
go.
over here? Is it right here? Is this big diet right here? Am I holding it in my hand right now? Leave that woman alone, big diet.
Not the other way around, y'all. Think about what you're contributing to. It's hurting people and it's hurting me.
Oh, it's hurting you. Oh, well, I guess I'll stop living my life immediately then. Me over here minding my own business, trying to get and stay in decent shape is harming you. Okay, do I have any other behaviors that are making you feel uncomfortable? Breathing, perhaps? Is there any way I can destroy myself to better suit you? No, but seriously, how sick of a person is it to think that other people cannot better themselves without it hurting them? When I saw you learn another language, that really hurt me. You know I've never learned a language. I've wanted to. I just haven't had the time or put in the effort. That's a you problem, dog. What? You can't try to hold everybody else down because you don't feel like rising up. This is like trying to rescue a drowning person that does not know how to swim. Don't ever do it. You'll see them flailing around like this and they're just panicking, right? You go to try to help them and they grab you and just start pulling you down because they're panicking and they don't know how to swim. I got a couple more clips from this person. Let's go. This one is titled, Diet Culture is BS. You're spreading hate when you participate. Your weight loss isn't welcome here. And once again, you're getting angry at other people for sharing their weight loss success stories.
I was invited to come to a live this morning.
Is this about that same life? When people started talking about losing weight and then you rage quit?
And, you know, I just sat around and mulled about it for like an hour and a half because I know these people, they have.
You hear that Britney Spears in the background? Ooh, baby, baby, ooh, you think I'm in love, sent from above, not that insane. Sorry.
Out for a couple of hours, right?
You mulled it over for a couple of hours.
I'm like mulling.
Like mulling. This reminds me of Robbie Mull, the greatest skateboarder that ever lived.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, let's go see. As soon as I walk in, somebody's talking about weight loss. And
As soon as you walk in, somebody's talking about weight loss. Okay, you said you were joining a live, right? Like watching it on the interwebs, I thought. Were you a special guest on somebody else's podcast or something? I don't understand.
about their body size
Let's get it.
and about their clothing. And I had to jump. Like, I can't be around that.
Why does it hurt you so much personally to hear other people's success stories? A lot of people have taken the time to learn a lot of different skills that I haven't, I'm not angry at them or jealous because of that.
That is an incredibly weak mentality.
First of all, you shouldn't even be focusing on what other people are doing at all. You should be focusing on you. You shouldn't care how much weight Susan has lost. You should care how much weight you have lost compared to last week, or how you're eating better today and this week than you did last week, and all these other milestones that are personal to you. I'm only competing with myself. I literally don't care how much that dude can bench or what his abs look like or how many chicks that other dude can get. I literally don't care, dude.
It is literally racism and fat phobia.
You still haven't explained why, but I'm guessing it's because of all those other lies that people told about the BMI being some sort of ist or ism, when it clearly is not. You know that glasses were invented by a man that started the KKK, right? So every time you put them on in an attempt to clearly see the world around you, you may as well be burning a cross on someone's lawn.
And I'm in a fat body, and you're expecting me to just sit there and
No, actually, nobody even noticed you. Nobody cares if you're sitting there or not. The world does not revolve around you at all. I had a good joke about things revolving around things right here, but
listen and not get triggered.
your triggers are your own problem, nobody else's. And the same is true for every other person on this planet. Nobody knows or cares what you've been through. We've all been through our own stuff. Nobody's going to tiptoe around you or walk on eggshells or any of that. It's up to you to get over your own issues.
It's inhumane.
Inhumane now for me to talk about my weight loss with other people who also want to talk about my weight loss, and you happen to stumble in drunk on your own sense of entitlement and tell us to change the subject.
Well done today.
So that's how I lost 10 pounds.
See you tomorrow for day
Actually
3 of the
quite
Olympian.
easy, a lot easier than a lot of people realize. I just made this change, and that change, which